Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the WiscoCardKid. If you're new to the channel, thanks for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Matt. I'm a fourth grade elementary teacher. I started this channel with my son to talk about sports cards that we got back into over COVID and kind of share some of our journeys, our highs, our lows, and what we've learned along the way. On today's episode, I'm not going to be talking much about sports cards. I'll give an update as to some of the happenings that's been going on. But today, I want to share a special story of an event that happened to some of our friends the last time we went to the Brewer game last week. So please like and subscribe, hang out for a little bit, and let's jump into the episode. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's been kind of a hot minute since I was able to record the last kind of episode and things. Life gets crazy. As I said, I'm a fourth grade teacher. Figure, summer's coming. I'm so excited at the end of the school year just to have a little break, have summers. I'm like, man, I'll have the entire summer off to be able to get caught up, be able to film some content, do some things, jump more into cards and stuff like that. But man, it has been kind of the complete opposite with schedules and running my kids all around to their activities. And they're doing basketball camps. My son's in baseball. My daughter right now is doing volleyball camp. Summer school started this week, so I'm doing that from 8 to 12:30 every day. Then basically run home, eat lunch, run them back to their camps or workouts or whatever they're doing. But people always say you're going to miss those days when they're gone. So I, I'm sure I will because I like being busy and doing things. But just when you're in the moment, it's like, man, I wish just have a little bit of time to settle down. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to jump into cards and do a whole lot of card stuff. Um, the baseball prospecting thing, I'm a little on overload, and I think it's just good anyways. I'm going to just kind of decompress, take a little break. Football season is starting, which I can tell because people are starting to make bids and buy some stuff in the eBay store. And if you're not sure, check the eBay link in the bottom in the description for my eBay store. If there's anything specific you're looking for, let us know. Can try and find or get it for you. But we spent a week up in Door County where we have a place with some of our friends. So that took a week. We went to a Brewer game on Carter's birthday. So that took a day. And that's kind of where my story for today is going to lead is um, just a really cool story that I thought I should share about Pat Murphy. And if you're not exactly sure who Pat Murphy is, he is the Brewers general manager, head coach of the team right now. So my wife's best friend from high school, she lives out in Arizona, and their family comes back. They grew up both around the Lake Geneva area, so they come back every summer for a couple weeks and hang out. We go down to Lake Geneva. They come up here. This year we spent a couple of days up in Door County doing all the touristy things. And one of the things they really like to do is we try and get to a Brewer game when they're in town because they're big Wisconsin sport fans and things. Um, and their son has special needs. He has Willie Prater syndrome, and so they went. His one-to-one aide at school actually tutors Pat Murphy's kids when the Brewers are down in Arizona for spring training. And he plays on a special needs baseball team, and his tutor invited Liam to come to the baseball game that Pat Murphy's kids were going to be playing at. And Pat Murphy was there hanging out at the Ball Diamond watching his kids play baseball that night. And their son, whose name is Liam, he got to play on the baseball team and actually meet Pat Murphy. And I'll put a picture of that right up here. that when he got to meet Pat Murphy out in Arizona while the Brewers were out there for spring training time. And Pat Murphy, they said, was an amazing, kind individual, took time. Liam asks a lot of questions, is the sweetest kid, asks a lot of questions, can be a little overwhelming at times, but is an amazing. And they said Pat Murphy was nothing but kind, nothing but respectful, and answered all of Liam's questions, hung out with him for a while, and did all of the stuff. And then at the end, he noticed Liam was wearing a Yelich jersey, and Pat Murphy signed a couple baseballs for him, gave him, I think, a terrain. It was either a Terang or an Ortiz poster, and did some cool stuff. And that alone made Liam's day. And as they were talking, uh, Murphy looked down and said, "Hey, I see you have a Yelich jersey on. Would you like me to get that signed for you?" And Liam shook his head and said, "Yeah," and literally gave him the jersey off his back, gave it to Murphy, and a couple days later, Liam's tutor brought the jersey back to school when Liam was still in school with a signed Yelich jersey from Christian Yelich that Pat Murphy followed through on his promise to Liam. So, all of that, fast forward, they've kind of kept in touch a little bit with a tutor and everything else. So, they come to Wisconsin, and Carter, it was Carter's birthday the day we went. They played the Reds on July 2nd. The Miz was pitching against Chase Burns. It was Dollar Dog Day, so I took advantage of the Dollar Dogs. I think I maybe had 5 hot dogs, maybe. But so the game was packed when it was just Dollar Dog Day. Then it came out they were going to do the Miz T-shirt giveaway commemorating his 15 strikeouts against the Phillies. Miz was pitching, Chase Burns was pitching. Both teams' aces were on the mound, so the stadium was packed. Unfortunately, the Brewers didn't win. Miz gave up 5 runs, his worst outing of the year. But hey, sports, sometimes that's how it goes. But as all the kids are down by the side waiting to see if any players are going to walk past and hope and a chance of getting an autograph, Liam just stood behind the dugout waiting for Pat Murphy. And as Pat Murphy came out, and I'll put another picture of that up here, Liam starts yelling, "Pat, Mr. Murphy, Pat," and almost Pat Murphy almost did like a double take, and he was like, "Hey, aren't you my Arizona friend?" And Liam like shook his head, and he's like, then he like motioned him down. He's like, "Hey, come on down here." So kind of funny, like Liam doesn't have a care in the world. So as he's calling him down, if you're familiar with American Family Field, Liam hopped up on top of the dugout, like army crawled to the corner. And as he's army crawling on top of the dugout, the older security guards that are standing down there were like yelling at him to get off the dugout or whatever. And then he ran to the side. Pat Murphy unzipped the net, opened the door, and Liam ran through and gave him like the biggest hug. And Murphy was nothing but the nicest, kindest guy who is getting ready for a Major League Baseball game. Took a minute and a half out of his day to invite Liam down on the field, give him a hug, and that is all Liam could talk about for the rest of the game. He didn't need to meet Jackson Churio. He didn't need to meet The Miz. All he wanted to do was meet his friend, Pat Murphy or Mr. Murphy, and before the game, and the fact that Murphy, one, remembered who he was, invited him down on the field, and gave him a hug and talked to him for a minute before the game, made the kid's day, and that's all he talked about for the rest of the day. So I just wanted to put that out there as a really cool story, share it, because sometimes with society, all we hear is the negative and the bad stuff and all this stuff that goes on in sports and the world. But in moments like this, there's hope, people do good, And I think it shows the kind of person that Pat Murphy is, which stems to the Brewers team as a whole. When you watch them play and having fun and cheering for each other, and it's about the team, not the individual. And that really is what Pat Murphy amplified by doing this and making Liam's day, for taking 1 minute out of his day, made that kid's whole day and maybe that whole visit to Wisconsin. So just something fun, interesting, and special that I wanted to share. And kudos to Pat Murphy for doing that when he didn't have to, and remembering him and going above and beyond for people and individuals when he didn't need to, but chose to do the right thing. So cool story. Wanted to share, made the kids' day, and hoping I will be able to put more content out. I think I just got a new notification that one of my orders from GameStop for PSA submissions are back. So hopefully I'll be putting out a PSA reveal again in the next week. But again, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks, everyone. Go make it a great day.